Hi, this is Dodger, and you're watching my show.
Three, two, one, ready, go.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to edit news all by myself. What am I, a pleb? For those of you who don't know, our lovely friend Happily Erin has been editing gaming and anime news for a little bit here. While she's been looking for a job, I asked if she was down to help me with some editing, and she said sure. So yeah, if you didn't know that, go on to Twitter and tell her how great she is. We're on our own this week, but I think we'll be fine. She's currently in Colorado with friends and family and Babu's having a fantastic time, so keep having a fantastic time, you beautiful creature. I feel like in Parks and Rec when Leslie Knope just over-compliments somebody, just, God, you are a wonderful phoenix of light and majesty. For our first piece of news, Kohei Horikoshi, who is the mangaka for Boku no Hero Academia, or My Hero Academia, has announced that the manga is going on hiatus for the first time ever. As for right now, we know that it will definitely not be around for this month, but it's been coming out like clockwork ever since 2014 when it first released. So some people are feeling a little bit nervous because a lot of us have had the feeling of really loving a manga and then it just stops. I honestly don't think that we need to worry about this because every mangaka, especially the ones who are putting out stuff weekly, right? Like these big epic tales that go on for years, like Bleach and Naruto, all of those. Those guys need a break, man. I'm glad. Take a break, dude. Missing a couple weeks doesn't mean it's gonna suddenly be, like Hunter x Hunter or Berserk. It doesn't have to be that extreme, right? Somebody can just say, I need a little time, my hands hurt. And I mean, sorry, there's lint in the air. We don't have a ton of information. There have been mangaka who have taken time off because they've been sick or just taken time off because they've needed it, artistically. We don't really know why this is happening. But either way, I hope that you're doing good, dude. And if you need a hot minute, go for it. We'll still be here because season 2 of Boku no Hero Academia is coming out next season, and whoo boy am I excited. Right, Bakugo, aren't you excited? Meh. Hentai publisher Fakku is looking into expanding specifically into brick and mortar shops, which I think is fascinating. Fakku started off as just, if you want to put your fan-subbed hentai up, you can. And then they became more of a legitimate publisher for hentai works. And now they're looking to have their published stuff be inside of stores that you can actually go to. But for a lot of companies, it's the opposite, right? They're finding a lot more success not doing physical retail and instead only doing digital. So the fact that Fakku is saying, no, there's a lot of value to us going to brick and mortar stores, right, is interesting to me. Because so many people are feeling the opposite. And maybe that's a sign that Fakku's doing real good and has money to blow. Good job, y'all. We are ready to begin selling to retailers immediately. It is something I am starting to investigate right now. A little aggressive, but okay. Maybe I don't know how to talk about this without it getting super lewd. Maybe they're no, for specifically what we do, it's important to not only be digital. Side note, they also have a job listing to go along with all of this, so if you're just spending every day being I wish that I worked for a hentai company, now's your chance. People were talking about the Oscars quite a bit. I mean, mostly for the mess-ups. But we actually got some Battle Angel Alita movie news from Mahershala Ali, who won an Oscar for Moonlight. Mahershala was also in Hidden Figures and Luke Cage. I bet a lot of people know him from Luke Cage. But he has also been confirmed for Battle Angel Alita and said right after winning the Oscar that he's actually playing 2 different roles in the movie. There are a lot of people who are confirmed for this movie. It's been speculated that he is going to be a villain and he's playing 2 characters. Look, any of you who are super into Battle Angel Alita, and I know you're out there, I've read a lot of the manga, but I'm not the sort of person who has read it so many times or retained so much information that I can really critically think about who could he be? But if you're out there and you're oh my God, I got this, I'm ready to put on my Battle Angel Alita clothes, think about it? Let me know in the comment section. Who is he gonna be? I gotta know. Yeah, Hollywood Reporter revealed in October that the actor will play one of the movie's villains, a man named Vector who runs and fixes matches in a gladiator-style combat game called Motorball. I mean, it's a movie. They're gonna change stuff. Michelle Rodriguez is gonna be in this movie. Let's do it. Berserk's new season will be premiering on April 7th. They showed a new visual to represent the new season, and a bunch of you are going to say, Dodger, we've already talked about this and you hate it. So why are you bringing this up again? Why are you doing this to us? You don't need to talk about this again. But something that's been interesting, an interesting discussion that's shown up, is that because of this new visual that they've shown to represent the newest season, some people are wondering whether or not they're going to dial back the CGI a bit. Because this entire time they've been trying to meld sort of this weird sketchy comic book style along with full CGI, and sometimes it looks great, and for the most part it looks terrible. But people are starting to wonder, are they going to make some changes? Are they going to dial it back a little bit in order to make it more appealing to the people who dropped it before? So look, I figured, since the last time we talked about it, I was like, screw this anime, it's dumb and I hate it. Instead, we could discuss it again and say, well, but maybe they're going to listen to a lot of the critique. Maybe they're going to, pull it in a slightly different direction. I don't think they're going to abandon the whole thing. That would make no sense, right? But the potential for them to say, okay, well, maybe if we skew it a little bit this way, maybe if we skew it a little bit more toward the sketchy comic book side instead of the CGI, like full-on CGI side, it'll work better. It'll be more palatable for, the frequent viewer. And this is entirely speculation. I would just like to point that out. This is entirely speculation. It might come out and look exactly the same, but I'm just curious to see whether or not they're listening. And perhaps it hasn't done nearly as poorly in Japan as it did here. And maybe I'm coming at it from the viewpoint of like a Western viewer who thinks it looks like garb, right? Maybe most Japanese viewers are totally fine with it and really enjoying it. I just really like Berserk, and I wish that it was fun to watch, that's all. As a final bit of news, something goofy, because I always like to throw something goofy into anime news. It's just so easy. There's just so much goofy anime news. There is a Guinness Book record to the person with the most Card Captor Sakura memorabilia. And it's like, I say this, and you might think to yourself, well, then maybe I could win the Dragon Ball Z maybe I could win the Has the Most Bulma Figurines award. But yo, this person is like next level. The largest collection of Card Captor Sakura memorabilia consists of 1,086 items. It belongs to Sophia Pichua. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. And they are from Lima, Peru. Look, if you were ever a person who watched a ton of Powerpuff Girls, right? If you remember that episode where they fought against the person who loved Powerpuff Girls so much that he tried to like take the actual Powerpuff Girls and put them into a box, right? To like fulfill his collection because he had collected everything. That's what this reminds me of. Like that's the level of commitment that I'm seeing here. But hey, you know what? When it's true love, you gotta go for it. And for my recommendation this week, how many of you have taken the time to read Battle Angel Alita? I know that every time you come to MangaPod and you use !manga in chat, it says that we're reading Battle Angel Alita every week. It's a goof now and I refuse to change it, but it's legitimately a fantastic manga. I'm actually really, really excited to see it be turned into a live action like Hollywood movie. I'm so curious to see what they do with that. But the story is great and I love the characters and I actually think that it's a fantastic read. So if you're looking for a manga to read, check out Battle Angel Alita because it's got a great cast behind it. I just love Michelle Rodriguez a lot. And anywho, that's been my show. Thank you so much for watching. If you have a positive or a negative response, feel free to leave it in my comment section. And if you would like to watch my Twitch streams, you can find them at twitch.tv/dexbonus. Keep your eyes peeled on the channel. We've got a new Welcome to the Fandom coming soon. We've got the start of a brand new show that I think is gonna be really funny and silly. There's a video that I'm working on that is anime related that I think is gonna just like Oh no, the camera turned off. Well, owari. Screw this anime, it's dumb and I hate it.